let's begin to know what it is actually, and then we'll see how we do it every day and how we go about it. So, okay, so we are going to start with this small puzzle-like story where this is the situation. One day, we know Akbar Birbal stories, right? In that, one day Akbar drew a line and challenged his courtmen, including Birbal, to shorten the line without touching it. So this was the puzzle given by Akbar. If you were given a chance, how would you solve it? Everybody, just think of yourself. இப்படி ஒரு சான்ஸ் கிடைச்சதுன்னா what would you do? Should I be bilingual or should I be talking in English? Anybody who does not is not comfortable with only English, you want me to talk in Tamil also? I'm comfortable. You can tell me.
No, ma'am. Participants all across.
It's
It
better
can
to
be
English. Okay. So this is the situation. This thing, if you were given a chance, what would you do? How would you shorten a line? A line is drawn, and he is asking the courtman to shorten it without touching the line. How is that possible? Do you think it is possible? You can just say yes or no in the chat box. So there's somebody given the answer also. So
you can draw one more line, bigger line.
Right. Draw a bigger line next to it. Okay. So that's how it happened. However, it was when Birbal's turn came, he drew a bigger line next to it. So how did the first line become small? We did not change the first line. The first line is as it is. But when a bigger line came next to it, it became small. In comparison to the second line, the first line became small, right? So we are not becoming smaller. We are not small or big. We just become smaller or bigger in comparison to somebody else or something else, right? So that is how social comparison is with us right from the beginning, and it is with us every day, every moment we come across it, right? So what is social comparison, the theory behind it, and all those things. There exists, this is the definition first given by the author called Festinger. He was the one who proposed the concept of social comparison. He proposed the social comparison theory, and he says that there exists in every human organism a drive to evaluate his opinions and his abilities. So he talks about opinions and abilities, but later lots of researchers talk about much more than just abilities and opinions. Beliefs, possession, materialistic possessions, these are something which happens every day also. So those were also added later. So this was the first definition which was given. And then later, we get to see what social comparison is from Garcia and Halderson. The process by which people understand their own ability or condition by mentally comparing themselves to others. So there is no physically somebody calling you and another person and comparing you. So it is not a three-person involved comparison. By the topic, we might think it is like when our parent compares ourselves, myself with somebody else. So that involves three people. That is not what social comparison definition holds. It holds only what I compare myself with somebody else mentally. There's no physical comparison out there. So, okay, this is something that I wanted to ask you. Looking at the graph, these are the marks obtained in a test. Some test, whichever you want to name it, it's of your convenience. So X has scored 18, you have scored 12, and Z has scored 7. So if you were given a chance to compare yourself with, whom would you compare with? With X or with Y? So you can decide for yourselves. If you want, you can also say it in the chat box. So it will get an idea how much of X. Okay, you compare yourself with your previous test, with yourself. Very great, very good. But if this is the hypothetical situation that I am giving you, what would you do? The one who has got more than you, or the one who has got less than you? Whom will you compare yourself with? Anybody else willing to answer? With previous test. Yes, that is with okay. One person is saying with X. Okay. So we'll see why I asked you this question. There is something called direction of comparison. Comparison, we compare ourselves with somebody. We have spoken about it. So whom do we compare? Shows us the direction, the upward and the downward. That's what we are going to see. So the upward comparison. If you said I will compare myself with X, the one who got more than me, then it is upward comparison. It refers to the comparison with people who are perceived to be superior or better off in some way. So it's my perception that they are superior to me. So if I have a perception that somebody is superior to me and I compare myself with them, that is an upward comparison. Okay. So the opposite will be downward comparison. So in that case, the previous example case, if you have said I would compare myself with Z, who got only 7, but I have got 12. So that time it will be that you will be doing a downward comparison. It's just a direction that you are in the middle, and if you compare yourself with somebody superior, the same way. It is your perception that somebody is inferior to you. So all this social comparison happens in our mind. So it is nothing that that person is superior or is inferior. It's just our perception of whether the person is superior or inferior and how we go about in our direction of comparison. So with that, we can know what type. Okay.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. So this we can know which type of comparison, which direction of comparison we tend to do more. So this is just for our. Okay. So the next is where all do we compare? So would you like to say settings that we compare?
ಹೊಸದ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಲೈಟ್ ತರಬೇಕು ಚೋಕು ಗೀಕು ಎಲ್ಲನಾ ಅದು ನಾವೇ ತರ್ಬೋದಾ
So at home do we compare? I hope we all do. I do. And school, yes, Alexandria is school. The next point is school or college. Where else do we compare?
ಅದೇ ರೀ ನಾವು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ತರ
You know me. Great. Okay. The next is social setting. We compare ourselves in the society. How we are. And the social media, right? Okay. I'll try being a little louder so that you'll be able to hear me better. Okay, so social media is the place where we get a lot of information for comparison. Right now, as we are not able to go out to school or college or workplace even, we are sitting at home, but still we get to compare. How is that? It's thanks to social media. We get lots and lots of information through social media, right? We'll see every setting in detail in upcoming slides. Okay. Okay. So, comparison at home. What are the comparisons that, what are the aspects that we could compare at home? Okay, so some points will be overlapping. Like, for example, there will be a point in home, but it will be applicable in school or college or at workplace also. So I didn't want to repeat it. So you can understand it by yourself. Okay, so physical appearance. This is something that came to me because at home I wanted only social comparison where I compare myself with somebody else. So if I have a sibling or if I have somebody at home whom I want to compare myself with, this is what struck me. So at home, I'm really not. If you have much more points, I'll be happy to take them. So if you have any other points at the end of the slide, also please tell me. Physical appearance, where I have seen an example where the elder sister feels that she's shorter and the younger sister is taller than her. So that becomes a problem between them because she says everybody asks that are you the elder sister and are you the younger sister? She should be happy about it, but since people are thinking she's younger, but for her she feels bad that she's not tall, she's very short and all that. So that can start a friction between the two. So that happens. And abilities, right? So one of the person, maybe you can compare with your parents also. So you have your mother cooks really well and you try cooking or it doesn't come out so well, or your mother has a academic high academic achievement, or your father is really good at drawing, and you compare yourself with them and then say, see, you all get this, I don't get it. Or you can go the other way around. See, you don't get anything, you don't get to draw a line also, see how great I am. So like that, it can be about abilities also. And materialistic possessions, this can happen between siblings. So when there are siblings, you people would experience it also. So they might have, you have got that, I don't have this, all that small things, or even bigger things like you have a better phone than me, you have a better laptop than me, I have this, I can't attend my online classes, so you have a better battery backup. So these small kind of things, but these do happen every day at home. So I thought this also matters, but this materialistic possessions is a point which will come in every setting, which can come in every setting, because we see it not only with our siblings or with our parents or with people around in our home. We also do it with in the social settings also, like school, college, workplace, whatnot. So this is something that I thought I'll add. There is a extra note where parents tend to compare us with our siblings. So that does not come into the definition of social comparison. So I'm not adding it here. Otherwise, the lot of comparison happens by a third person, right? You are but not as good as her or him between the siblings. That can happen. So that's something that happens at home. Okay. So comparison at school or college. I would like to hear at least one point from you people. I hope some students are also there. So anybody could just give me what you think. What do you compare yourself with somebody else at school or college? Okay. So I proceed. Basically, comparison based. Sorry, Asha grades. Asha said something. I couldn't get that. Okay. Marks. Yes. Academics. Knowledge. Yes. How much I know. Yes. Marks and rank. Yes. Rank plays a really great role in school. Maybe not in college. Extracurricular activities really, yeah, matters a lot. Personality. Yes. Curricular activities. Yeah. Okay. So academics, as you said, are the, yes, workplace comes later. In the next slide, we'll see that. Communication. Yeah, good. Yes. It's a really good point, which I think I missed, but I could add it. So academics is something which at school, that is the key focus point, maybe for a lot of people, but for some it may vary to extracurricular activities also. But the marks and the ranks are compared so much that we get bored of them at the end, at a point. So academics is something we get compared to every test, every mark, every rank that we get. So even when others keep comparing ourselves, at a point it becomes programmed in our mind that we also start comparing ourselves with others. The next point, as you already saw, is the social circle. It's nothing but how much peer group I have, and based on the friends circle that I have, that also can be a comparison standard, where I feel that I have only two friends, but look at look at her. She has a lot of friends. Majority of the class listens to what she wants to do or what she says. So that becomes a comparison area also. And yes, teachers relationship with teachers, basically what I meant. Teachers approval. This can also happen at college also, because economical status, yes, ma'am, that is also coming, but I didn't want it to repeat, so it's coming in the next settings, upcoming settings. So I wanted to have only which is really for school and college, because it should not overlap. So start, sorry, economical settings and all coming in the upcoming slides. So teachers, the relationship with teachers also matters as school kids, because even in college we can have, but we have more mature kind of relationship. But teachers' approval and all comes in school time, where the student thinks she or he is the topper of the class, or somebody who is the favorite of student of the teacher. They get approval. They get what I mean. Whatever they say, teacher accepts. But whatever I say does not happen. So all that can happen. We tend to compare ourselves with the other person. They have better approval of the teacher's opinion and all that. So that could be one of the comparison standards. And yes, the last part is what most of you said, extracurricular activities. Yeah, because academics is one part, maybe the above average group who would choose to compare themselves with the academics marks or ranks. But maybe other half, they might, it's not, I'm not saying they do, they might go for this kind of comparison where you play this, I play that. I mean, you are so good at pro ball, you're so good at volleyball. So that kind of comparison can come. So we face a lot of comparison at school and college. You people think I have missed anything? You can add in the points if you want to. Okay, so I'll move to the next. It's a workplace. So we'll go one by one. I think few of you have already said that we have, I mean, some points have already come. Designation and communication, which I have missed. So I'm mentioning it before I can go for the next. Yes, designation is something that we would compare, but it is like, is also based on other things like qualification, salary. So I didn't mention that word, but that word itself matters, because your assistant manager, I'm just a deputy manager or something like that. The hierarchy comes into play, and there is a lot of comparison in the designation as well. So that's an important point. And yeah, the qualification. So what you have studied, where you have studied, you have done your PG. I've just done my PG. So you've done your PG abroad, or you've done in this prestigious institution. I've just done it in some small normal institution. So even the institution that we did our graduation will be of comparison. It can be of comparison. So what could be the next? Social support. Yeah, this is kind of repeating. You might think it's a become a comparison. Yes, that also can become a comparison. You work at this company, I work at this company. Yes, it can happen. Thanks for that. The social support, yes, it might look a little overlap to with the previous one, where I said social circle, and this is social support. Where what I meant by saying social support was, you have a team with you and you are working together. So the support that you get in the team and the around the team, like in the office altogether. That matters. That there is a difference between school, college, or I didn't get maybe you're saying that my fluency, I'll be comparing my fluency with somebody else. Okay, I'll wait for you. I didn't get that one. Okay, the next one, salary, don't we? Because we always, when there's something called workplace and work, we get salary as the materialistic benefit out of it. So that's something which we tend to compare. That could be a basic comparison that we can do. Appreciation, yes. So that's something, right? Workload, no. There's lots of points coming in for the workplace setting. Maybe because lots of people are facing it day to day, right? So you're able to give me lots of points. Thank you. And salary is a monetary benefit that we get, so we tend to compare that also. Responsibilities, right? Based on the role that I hold, my responsibilities, right? Correct. And the experience. So based on the experience also, on-site opportunity, yeah, true. So promotion, yes. Designation and promotion are intertied and so on. So some more appreciation. Yes. Salary, yes. Okay. So experience, what I meant by experience is somebody has a better experience than me, like has worked in so many companies. So they have so many years of experience, right from the hierarchy. They have climbed down from the step one, so they know every step of the process. So they might have a better understanding of the process. So experience also can be compared because I have just been in one company and I'm in the second company. Assertiveness, yes, can be of a comparison target, but what I've been emotional intelligence, yes, these are the intrapersonal abilities or qualifications that would be realistic, and these are something that we are usually doing. So, parent compare, yes, parents compare, right? But why I have already given the explanation where that does not cover in the definition of social comparison where third person comes and compare to other persons. That is why I have not included that part in this presentation. Okay, coming back to the presentation. After the experience, what's next? Work has, workload, whatever you said, it's somewhat related to that. I have flexible timings, or you work only 8 hours, I work 10 hours. So when we talk with our friends, we say, "Oh, you have only 8 hours, I have 10 hours." Oh my God. Or the other way around. It might also happen. Sometimes it happens with me. I say, "Thank God, I'm just having only 5 hours college when I was in college, and you all have 8 hours college. Enjoy." So I used to be sarcastic, but that can also happen. The upward comparison also can happen. Okay. So the network. Okay, my voice is uh, maybe I have to check my internet connection. Okay, I hope it will be better soon. The network, what I meant is the number of people I know in the field, whichever field you are in, maybe in IT industry, maybe in psychology field or any field that you are working in, the number of people you know, that matters, right? So we might compare that I only know a few people, but he or she has a lot of contacts, so they get to organize more things, or they get more resources, they get more help. So that time we might compare the network or the expertise in the field the other person has, right? So the next setting, comparison at the social setting. What do we compare? So I have a few points, and at the end of the slide, if you have any points to be added, please do add. Family background. So yes, we do a lot of comparison with family background, right? because when in the social setting we see what is the person doing, not we just don't see what political, yes, political background, family background, economic status coming. The next point is that. Okay, so family background, we see what the parents are doing and what the children are doing. Are they doing their studies in a good institution or a better institution or a top institution? So all that. So all together put as family background. That's what I've done. And financial status, yes, that is something that we compare ourselves with others in the, maybe in our street or in the circle that we know, the people we know, maybe with our friends families or with our parents friends families, like that. So type of occupation, yes, so this can also be a comparison standard where I am a businesswoman or businessman, but somebody else is a professor. So, according to me, one can think professor is later, the other can think businessman is later. So, as the definition says, it's perception of oneself that the other person is superior or inferior. Yeah, friends. That is also included. And this, we cannot say who's greater or who's lesser, but there can be a lot of comparison around it because I have reviewed a study where one student would have said, my mother is just a school teacher, but my friend's mother is a college professor. So according to her, she feels inferior. So she does an upward comparison. So that was an important point why I took type of occupation here. So materialistic wealth, obviously we have to accept because we also compare ourselves with the cars that others possess or the wealth, whichever is visible or whatever in the social setting, like when we go to a marriage, how much grand it is and where do they arrange. We compare everything. We do that. So it's better to accept and we need to know what we compare so that we can decide whether to do it or not or how to do it or not. Right? So that is why this is going like where all do we compare so that it's like a awareness moment to me. Okay. So sorry. Would you people like to add any other thing other than this to this particular setting, social setting in the society? Yes, physical appearance was already given at home, so I didn't want to repeat. But what you're saying is true. That can happen in the society, at college, at workplace, everywhere that can come. So what was at home can take place. I mean, can fit in other settings as well. That is why I have put it at the basic. Gender, yes, very much. I miss that really great point. We do anything else, or I'll social context. True, that was given in the workplace, so I don't want to repeat. Okay, we'll move on. So now comes the time where only you people are going to tell me what you think. Okay, my voice is not clear. What do I do? Maybe I'll talk a little louder so that my voice goes in. I understand. I'll make conscious effort. Okay. So breaking. I'll check my internet connection. Just a minute. Sorry. Likes, status, views, and I don't have a earphone which works properly. That is why. Sorry. My internet connection is better. Okay, then I'll do this. I'll save like this. Okay, so comparison at social media. What do we compare? I can do that. I'll try without the video. Number of contacts in the social media. Yes, we can do that. We do that. I have so many Facebook friends, Instagram followers. I'm not so much popular in the social media. Right. What else we do? What do in social media? What do we compare? We get a lot of information, right, about others. All the points which we spoke before will or may come, like physical appearance, the possession, materialistic possessions, the designation, number of likes or followers, yes. Places visited, true. That is something which we didn't cover. Places visited where when they go for picnic, they put post. Number of posts equal to good life, regular outing, quality life, yeah. So so many things we compare. What else? What else do you think we compare? Video posts, yes. Number of likes and followers, right? The types of information, data shared, if it. So based on the information shared, what kind of information do we share on social media, which we think is good, right? Today, I am coming as a speaker to this place. Wearing of lawsuits. Okay. Do we compare? Is the question. So, what will I do? I'll post my invite or the poster in my social media, right? But will I post my bad days that I feel really bad that what am I doing? Will I post that? No, I might not. As much as I would do this, right? So we need to think. Everybody needs to think how much of uh, information is shared in the social media and how much are only positive. So when we are looking at somebody's post, we are looking at a good or a positive aspect of their life. Yes. But is it only part of their life? No, right? We are not, we are missing on that because there are a lot of studies where there are people who get uh, depressed based on by looking at Instagram posts or Facebook. So there is a lot of research with in relation with social media and social comparison. So that is why I have not touched it much because if I start it, I should give justice to it. So I didn't go into it. So you people gave me the answers. I'm really happy. Okay, so let's move to the next. Okay, so we have seen that we compare every aspect of in every aspect of our life. At school, college, workplace, everywhere. So is comparison beneficial or not? What do you people think? Should we do it or not? Obviously, we're going to do it. So is it beneficial or not? Anybody? Benefit for positive thinking. Beneficial, motivating, right? Yes. Healthy comparison is beneficial. So how do we know a comparison is healthy or not? Yeah, depends. Right. That is the question at the end. So we need to know how a comparison is healthy or unhealthy. We need to know the answer, right? So let's see. When it motivates you to improve yourself, it is healthy. Right, Asha, you got my slide. Okay. So these are the motives for comparison according to Wood. He's a researcher in social comparison area. So he has said that there are three motives for comparison, and you can look for yourself and say which is healthy and which is not healthy. I'm leaving it to you because I thought you will find it very quick. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, sorry. Self-evaluation. The first motive is self-evaluation. It is like when I need to know how I am. I mean, which position I am. When I don't. When there is a, for example, I'm sorry. Okay. So if it is in academics and we have a test for 20 marks and we score 18, we know it's above average or on the top, or we know the rank that we could get, or it's like I have got 18 but still I've got third rank is okay. But when I don't know what I'm comparing, because there take height, or you take some where there is no objective standard for yourself to compare and know where you stand. So that is when your comparison can be helpful for you to evaluate yourself, to just to know where you stand, and then you decide. That is the next part. So for self-evaluation could be one motive for comparison. Okay. And the next is self-improvement. Once I've compared with somebody and I know where I stand. So based on it, my motive could be I know now I know where I stand. I could improve myself, or I could stay at the same place. I can decide about it. So if my comparison is for improvement, self improvement, it gives a different, altogether different result. And the last motive is self enhancement, right? So self enhancement is it's mostly a downward comparison. I compare myself with whoever is lesser than me, or I think who is inferior than me, because to maintain my self esteem, to say that no, I'm better than somebody, so it's okay. I'm good at it. It's okay. Just to enhance self esteem, just to maintain. So you can now see and tell which are the healthy ones, which motives are the healthy ones, and which are not not so healthy. So I leave it to you people. But out of this three, because this is what the researcher has said, the three motives. Okay. So okay, I'll elaborate. Self-evaluation and improvement. Yeah, self-improvement is healthy. True. So self-evaluation and self-improvement is for me to better myself. Is something that I do for becoming better, right? So it is in the growth path. So self-evaluation and self-improvement is healthy, and self-enhancement. If my motive is just to enhance myself, just to feel that I'm good and I can be at this place and to be at ease. So that is self-enhancement. That is not very healthy to have. So these are the motives for comparison according to Wood, and there could be much more added to it because this was done in 1989. So we could add a lot to overcome depression, self-enhancement. Yes, ma'am, I agree, but depends upon the standard or what we are comparing. That also comes into play. Just not just the motives matters to know whether the comparison is healthy or not. We also need to know what the person is comparing. Is it an ability or an opinion or just a materialistic position? So we need to know that also to say whether it is healthy or unhealthy, because it becomes a matrix at the end. It requires a lot of maturity when we compare ourselves. So I am done. So you can ask me any questions. Thank you all for listening. Anybody has any questions? Thank you, ma'am.
Shubha, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How do you take this negative comparison to your advantage and improve yourself? If somebody is comparing, like for example, say I am short, I am dark, okay? So if somebody is saying that to me, how do I take it in the positive sense and either I improve myself or I take it in the right sense and move on.
Okay, so this you're saying about physical appearance.
Yeah.
Okay. Your mic is on. So physical appearance, I think improve it, right? I can become short. Somebody is saying that, but can I do something about it? That becomes a big question. Physical appearance aspect, we just have to accept ourselves and move on is something that I would say. If it is a different aspect, like if somebody is comparing me in terms of marks, I would agree. So I can take it in a better way, saying that it is giving me a room for improvement. Yes, they are comparing me because I'm getting a lesser mark. I could do better, so I can take it in the better or positive side. Uh, Physical appearance, I don't know how to take it in the positive side. I think we have to just accept ourselves because we,
Okay. Got it. See, I just wanted to share my experience.
yes,
Uh, while I was in the Middle East, this is the problem which I have been uh, in witnessing that the children they talk about talk to each other that I went to this restaurant, that restaurant, and I went for this holiday, and we went to this mall. We went so children on that level, but actually I just thought it is only children were happening, but it was also happening. Like the parents were saying, I am working in this company. I'm moving to this company, and I bought BMW. So they were in what I have to buy. So these kind of things were happening. Okay, it was actually very. I felt very disgusting, and that is probably one of the reasons for me to back. Okay, because it was I couldn't take it, so I come back. But for 17 years I was witnessing this. So it is really pathetic situation that how it has to be inculcated in children that the comparison it is not worth.
yes, true.
Okay, so that how what are the methods one can adapt to you know bring up the children in a better way. So that is what it is it is required. I guess so.
Yes. So we don't know whether it is healthcare. We also can. There is something called emotion. So when I compare myself, what is the emotion that I result with? So I can work on that emotion, and based on that emotion, could that comparison go unhealthy or healthy? So if we teach children to take it in the optimistic side, there is a model for it where we can explain to kids and tell them you can take, for example, if there is a upward comparison, I say somebody has got the better marks than me in school, and I can go two ways about it. I can say he or she has got really great marks. Oh my God, if she can do it, I can also do it. I can take it on the inspiration side also, or I can go it on the other, take it on the other side, saying envy where how come she only got, I don't get anything. So how can she get? So then I take it in the other side. When I feel there's less control on my hands, I go on the negative side or the not so optimistic side. So when we explain this to kids right from the beginning, they might engage in better or healthier comparisons. Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay, so
I think this was
Aishi
a
has
really good. This was really a good session, Shubha,
thank you, sir.
and the flow was fantastic, and I really enjoyed. And I know I have lots of chat messages. Also, people were responding. It was really nice,
Thank you, sir.
and it's a. I know we are all in, somewhere or other with the society. We interact with the people, so we need to be aware of these comparisons, which will not affect, hurt us, and to move on and they life. So that is what I feel. It had never affected me, but when I have noticed many people have saving the numbers and all with the tag. So I really felt bad when I saw some people were their own friends, their own close friends. They used to have a tag and save the number in that way. Then I used to fiddle their mobile and change it. Because it is not correct. I tell them like
Yes.
so. So I think it is very very important. This is also one of the important factor one has to be aware, and so that you don't take it on heart, and you feel bad about yourself, and you get into trouble. I mean psychologically you get into trouble. So it's a very very this lecture was giving lots of awareness. Thank you so very much.
So as I already said, so, okay. So as I already said in the beginning, since the title was social comparison in everyday life, I wanted to keep it very light and also where it's only of awareness, how we compare, where we compare, what we compare. So more than that, I didn't want to do information overload because that is the area that I work with. So I can give some more research and lot of things, and I didn't want everybody to bore with me. I didn't want you people to get bored with it. So I stopped with it. Actually, there is a lot of scope where we can work, like Krishnan sir said. We can see how comparison affects us and what we can do about it to get out of it if it is not a healthy comparison. And so I wish I could have done that also, but if I started, I know I could not finish everything in 1 hour, so I thought I'd keep it short, but the session became very short. I'm really sorry about it.
Hello, ma'am. I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, normally it is like a human tendency, and maybe it is our upbringing that we always compare with the others. That too, comparing means we compare with our higher achievers. We will not comparing with the lower achievers. That is a mentality, or I think it is a belief system it has, or maybe perception has happened. So how to change such perceptions?
Sir, to answer your question, as I quoted Festinger, I wanted to say that Festinger has also said that it is a directional upward drive. So social comparison when he theorized in 1954, at that point itself, he has stated that we tend to compare with people who are above us. So,
Yeah. Upward only.
upward comparison in order to improve ourselves. So that is the natural way of comparison we have in order to grow. I mean, in growth mindset basically, but it is not helping us in some places. We need to identify where it is not helping, and we need to do some alteration so that it becomes a healthy and helpful comparison.
Yeah, actually, what happens, wherever like our academic is required or our professional career is required, I understand we can look for upward. So, apart from those things, in general, if we compare other things with the upward only, then it has become a habit, or it may be like it has deep seated in our unconscious mind, so we are not able to come out of this comparison or this habit, so which is making us very painful and sometimes very disturbing. So
Some,
do you have anything tips for this to come out of this?
Sir, what I understood from going through the comparison research and all this is we cannot avoid
Yes.
comparison. That's something
Oh, we
I've taken
can.
because it is
Okay.
everywhere, and that is what we saw today. It's at
What
home,
is?
it's at school, it's at college,
Yeah,
it's at
unavoidable. No? It
so
is. Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. Correct.
unavoidable. We need to know how to take it in the right sense, like
Yeah,
Krishna
but
said.
but this is very important, ma'am. Today, what you have covered, now I really appreciate. You have given very nicely, the insight and all. This is really a very much needed now, present day needed thing, like the social comparison and all. So it will help us a lot. Otherwise, many people are getting disturbed on this and they're getting into depression, stress level, and so and so. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shubha, not
Yes.
Shubhashri, or what's her name, Veena, can you just take over? I think she's on a call. Thank you very much, Shubha Lakshmi. So I'll say that so that there won't be any confusion. She's on the screen. Yeah,
Hello,
Shubha, go
ma'am.
ahead.
How are you?
Hi, Subbu, Subbu Lakshmi. How are you?
I'm good, ma'am.
I'm really happy to listen to you. I am also happy that I'm your teacher,
Yes.
and all the very best for your future endeavors. And we are recording the gratitude from the Department of Psychology and American College, Madurai, and as well as MSSW. You are an
Yes.
alumni of MSSW, and
Yes.
as well as the other collaborators. And I thank Krishnan for thinking of bringing you here, and I thank all the other core team members who have been traveling. I really enjoyed the entire session. I couldn't join initially, but I joined, and whatever you have been talking, and it was very nice and very much relevant for for the parents and as well as for the teachers and as well as for the individual. I remember your thesis on PG that you have done on self work, self love, and So now with a comparison, you have come out, and I hope you come out with a very beautiful research work which is useful for the society also. All the very best, and thank you so much for the participants who have been traveling. And so we are bringing all youngsters into this platform to enlighten with their research works and as well as with the concepts they have learned. So be with us, travel with us, so that we can spread awareness about mental health. Thank you, Subbu.
Thank you, ma'am.
God bless you.
Thank you.
हाँ हाँ